Hey everyone, I'm Todd Stevens,
I'm Todd Anderson.
and you're watching the Versus series by StarCityGames.com. We're back today with some Modern action, and it looks like Modern is starting to become a format that's kind of solved-ish. We have humans and Jeskai that have really kind of rose to prominence, and people really caring about the small creature decks with what they're doing with Humans Affinity. Hollow One's not really a small creature deck, but interactions kind of in never been more valuable than it is now. And so because of that, the decks that kind of dodge that have been doing pretty well. We saw Storm just completely dominate the SCG regionals recently, with Caleb and Paul both winning and putting up some other big finishes. So, but it hasn't been fluctuating as much as it has in the last few months.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's very clear that Humans is one of the better decks in Modern. I am hesitant to call anything in Modern the best deck without it putting up insane numbers, but it seems like Humans just kind of comes out on top most of the time. And I think that has a lot to do with its consistency, its disruption, and the speed at which it puts a clock on the opponent. And that combination of all three of those things is kind of unique to that archetype and not something that any other Modern deck can really cobble together. Like, some decks are more disruptive, some decks are more aggressive. Very few put the pieces together the same way Humans does. And we're seeing a lot of reaction to that.
Yep. Yeah, even with Humans having such a target on its head, it's still winning tournaments. It's still doing just fine. Usually with Modern, whenever a deck has a big target on its head, it'll start going down because there's just too many angles of attack in the format. But yeah, Humans kind of has everything covered with Freebooter, Meddling Mage, and then the fast clock and everything.
Right. So I think that some of the ways you can attack Humans is either like with Jeskai playing a bunch of removal and just kind of taking care of all of their threats, and then having some way to refuel, whether that's Snapcaster Mage or Teferi, Jason Mind Sculptor, or whatever. But then, there are also decks that kind of sit on top of it. Your affinity decks are a little bit faster than it. Don't really have much in the way of things that care about Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, Meddling Mage, or Kitesail Freebooter. You see the same thing with Elves, for example. Ross Merriam took that to a finals finish in one of the team opens recently on your team, right?
Yeah. Not on my team. Again, with Brendan and Tannen.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And I think that deck is, even though he lost to Humans in the finals, he said he made some mathematical error, which is understandable considering you have Azuri Renegade plus Devoted Druid, and that math can really gum things up when you start overrunning, and then you get to untap it 3 more times. How many times can you overrun? When do you tap your Elvish Archer-Druid?
Yeah, and Heritage Druid also. It's a mess. Yeah, but anyway, so we don't know what each other's playing, so we'll just kind of get on the match and then talk about our decks afterwards. And so you get to choose if you'd like to be on the play or draw. All right, you'll be on the play?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's get our opening hands.
All right, we're here for game 1 in Modern, and my hand is okay, I guess. It can definitely fall apart if things go south. I'm going to keep it just to kind of see what happens.
Yeah, mine's not perfect or anything, but I have an interesting kind of decision on turn 1 with what lands to lead, depending on what we're doing, so we'll talk about that whenever we get there. My turn 1.
All right, let's go Springleaf Drum, Ornithopter. We'll play Signal Pest. I'm just going to play another Ornithopter.
Ooh. This is not... All right, so the deck that we're playing, this is not the matchup I want to be facing at all. That draw wasn't good. So, okay, so we have our tower... We only have one Tron piece, but I'm still going to be leading with the Tron piece here. I could lead with the Temple, and then if we draw another Temple, then we can have our Thought-Knots here on turn 2. But... that's just not very likely, and we'll have other turn 2 plays we can do even without that. So maybe we only have the one Tron piece now, but I think it's still worth it in case we draw 2 in a row. Yep, so go ahead.
All right. Declare decks.
Yeah.
All right. 2.
Yep, so I'm at 18.
All right, I will play a Signal Pest.
Yep.
And then I'll play a Vault Scourge, take 0, make a buy.
Right.
Your turn. I was thinking about holding the Darksteel Citadel just to hide information, but I think the damage might end up mattering at some point.
Okay, so we don't. Yeah, we're not going to have Tron anytime soon, and we have to take care of these signal pests.
Ruh-roh.
So we're just going to use a ballista on 1 here for our turn.
Okay.
And I'll shoot a signal pest. And I guess I'm never going to probably ever play this card ever. I probably should have thrown this down on turn 1. Let's just put this down on 0. I don't think we're going to ever really have the time to. I would love to put it on 2. 2 is the number I'd love to put it on against Findy, but it's probably not going to happen.
All right. Attack for 4. Gain 2. I go to.
Yeah, so I'm at 16. You're at. Or no, I'm at 14.
To 22.
You're at 22.
Your turn. We really need to draw some of the Arcbound Ravager, Cranial Plating, even as champion. I guess as champion's not very good in this matchup. So
draws haven't been helping us. We need lands. Thoughts here doesn't really do anything. Neither of our Eldrazi really do anything because can't block anything in the air. Could just do this again. I think that's the best thing to do is just to
Ballista on 1 again.
Ballista on 1 again and shoot that. If I had another land in my hand and I knew I could put a Ballista on 2 next turn, I would probably wait.
All right, attack for 2.
Yep, so I'm down to 12 and you're
23.
at 23.
All right, your turn.
All right, we're looking for a land. All right. Tilt. Well, we'll just get Thought-Knot Zero here. All right, your turn.
Okay. Big boy. That was a good one. All right. Ravager.
Yep.
So, do we want to try to put him on a 2-turn clock? So right now, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what I can do is just put this out of dismember range. Trying to figure out if what he could have to actually kill it. All right, yeah, I'm just gonna shove.
Yeah.
So we're gonna activate this with our other mana. Sack these 6. So it's gonna go to 7. Make this an 8/8. Might actually just make it a 9/9 just to gain life. I guess it doesn't matter. If he kills it, I lose anyway. So hit you for 9.
Yeah. So I'm down to
3, and I'm at 34. Or 32, sorry.
Yep. 3 to 32.
All right, your turn.
Nope, no land still. All right, I'm dead. So what I wanted that land for the last turn.
Chalice on 2.
Yeah, to put the Chalice on 2. That's what I really
that would
wanted
shut
the
off
last.
Ravagers and Cranial Plating, which are the 2 best cards that I can draw in that specific spot.
And even Steel Overseer would be a really hard card for me to beat. Mm-hmm. All right, so we're here for sideboarding, and this is what I'm going to be taking out. Some people like leaving in Chalice on the play, just try to throw down on 0, but I just don't think that that's good enough, and especially how I have more interaction where the game will go a little longer. I don't want to be really drawing Chalices in the later game, and so taking those out. All This Dust is actually a card that I kind of like sometimes against Affinity because a Master of Ethereum can just be such a problematic card, and you can also hit Vault Scourge and stuff, but I do have more removal in my sideboard these days than I usually do, so I think I'm okay to trim there. And then I'm just trimming some of the creatures. I don't want to take out anything in particular because I want to keep my curve kind of intact, so I'm kind of trimming all over the place there. Okay. And actually, in fact, I need to trim one of these. I forgot. Whoops. All right, live good television here. I'm keeping this back in, and I'm taking one of these out because this is just too slow against Affinity a lot. And again, I want to kind of trim on all spots of the curve. All right, and then what we have bringing in here, just lots of small removal that we have these days. Bringing in another one of these that can use this ability to help out this card because that can actually be kind of problematic. Hopefully we have enough artifacts kind of going on our deck here. But that's kind of what we're going to go with. We're going with a more just control deck here, post board.
Okay. My side, Peter was very cognizant of the existence of Jeskai, Mardu, Pyromancer, as well as humans, and Edge Champion is just a boon for affinity against those decks and something they have a lot of trouble actually handling. So we're going to be cutting those in this matchup, unfortunately, because most of Todd's creatures can block it.
Yep.
It actually gives value to Matter Reshaper. We actually don't even have Master of Theum in our 75.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Even though some of our main deck cards, like Hope of Gearper, is not exactly for this matchup, a 1/1 flyer for 1 mana is actually just better than a 3 mana 2/2 do nothing. We're going to be bringing these 4 sideboard cards. Just they seem like the best of the bunch. I don't think something like Gearper Ether Grid would be all that great. Most of Todd's creatures are gigantic. And, you know, he doesn't have something like Stony Silence where we need an alternate win condition with Gearper Ether Grid. So we're going to be boarding in these 4 and hoping for the best.
All right, we're here for sideboarding. I'm on a mulligan to 6. It's the thing about Eldrazi-tron is you are going to mulligan a decent amount because you have like so many like low impact lands. Well, I guess some lands that are just so high impact that you really want to see. We don't have any Tron lands here, but at least we have good interaction. So that to start with. So Scrying, it is a Tron land, so we'll definitely keep it. We could use some mana. So let's go ahead and keep this one.
Okay.
All right.
You good on the play? Yeah, my hand's great.
Okay. All right. Well,
I think
I'll have. Why am I playing that land? I meant to play this one, but yeah, we'll have a Basilisk Color.
All right. Let's go Spire of Industry, Springleaf Drum. Play Memnite. I will cast a Mox Opal. Okay. I wasn't sure if he had Gutshot or not. I kind of wanted to bait it out right there if he had it. It's probably worse than not doing it though. But play this and this and Sega. A lot of things.
That is a lot of things.
Stuff. Not a whole lot of actual powerful stuff though. Would very much like to draw cranial plating like right now.
Yep, that's all I got. Go ahead.
Oh, I got nothing over there, huh?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Attack.
All right, so I think I should be using this Dismember, but yeah, I guess we'll just use it on the Ravager. Yeah, and just make Todd make a decision of like stuff to do. So
Right,
taking 4 life from that, so I'm going down to 16.
So if he has a second Dismember, this could be bad if I shove. But we don't have much pressure other than that. So I think I'm actually fine losing these 2 in the Ravager. So I'm going to sack these 2
to the Ravager.
To the Ravager.
Yeah.
And then I think putting it on the Vault Scourge is better than putting it on the Memnite.
Yeah, because I can block the Memnite a lot easier. And especially I have a Death Touch thing.
Mm-hmm.
So even making a big...
All right, target Vault Scourge.
All right, I will gut shot the Vault Scourge and go down to 14.
I was hoping the Mox Opal on 1 would prompt him to gut shot the Memnite, but...
Yeah. I'm still more worried about like Steel Overseer or something like that.
So you take 2 from the gut shot down to 14 and then 1 down to 13 from the Memnite.
Yep.
Your turn. All right, so we got 4 for 2'd, unfortunately.
And I got a Thought-Knot Seer. Go ahead. Even on the play, a turn 3 Thought-Knot Seer too late. So I'm probably going to be trimming another one on the draw.
I will just go ahead and Gale Blast this draw card.
Yep, that's
a
good draw.
A very good draw. 2 put you to 11.
Yep.
I'll go to 21. Your turn. We could have waited for him to equip, but I wanted to go ahead and get that free card and hopefully find like cranial plating or something. But
all right, so I just have a map to go find a power plant and go ahead.
He's trying to empty his hand for Seagate Wreckage. The longer this game goes, the worse it'll be for me. Attack for 3, gain 1, 8 to 22.
Yep.
Your turn.
All right, come on, Walking Ballista. It's always the best card in my deck.
No.
Walking Ballista. It's not actually even that good here, unfortunately. So let's see. So we're going to play... Yeah, that's actually just not even that good. I'll just play another map and go get a tower and play the tower.
You got 5 mana. What you gonna do with that 5 mana?
I literally have nothing I can do. Go ahead.
All right. Well, we're putting them on a 2-turn clock.
I guess there's an option of getting. No, I really can't go get Ghost Quarter. Like Ghost Quarter would be an option, but I think Tron's just gonna be too important.
Okay.
So 4. I'm down to 4.
All right. I gain 2.
You're at 24.
24 to 4.
Yep.
And then I will play another 1-mana flyer. Go.
Ooh. All right. Where's that Ballista at? Ballista. Well, that's actually not bad. That's for draw steps. That's not a bad one. It's a
Yeah, Smasher plus gain 5.
Yep, Smasher plus gain 5.
Yeah. That's
So
undoes my whole clock.
yeah,
Or
Smasher, equip, attack for 5. So you go down to 19. I gain 5. Go up to 9.
Yep.
All right, and your turn.
All right. Hit you for 5.
I'm
I
back
gain
down to
2.
4.
I'm up to 21. You're at 4.
No
And
bolt,
then
no bolt.
We'll play a Signal Pest and hope that it kills him next turn.
Uh-oh.
Cross fingers.
Well, I do have a removal spell for the Signal Pest.
Oh,
That's
stinks.
fine. This was the card that I drew a
Oh,
couple turns ago.
Oh, no, that doesn't do anything. If you have an instant. Aw, I could have actually just killed you with Hope of Gearper.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, minus on the Signal Pest.
You go home.
And drew Reshaper to just get in here.
Yeah.
And then
16. You go back up to 9.
your turn. And now I do have a blocker for the Memnite also.
Mhm.
So got a little bit less of a clock. So we just got to keep opening bricks on cranial platings and stuff.
Yep. Okay. 3 at you or
Yeah, you
3 at
gotta
Karn.
spend 1 to activate
Yeah,
the.
yeah, yeah. 3 at you, 1 at Karn.
Yep.
I'll gain 2. I'm at
Wait.
4.
Oh, just 1 at Karn?
No, 3 at Karn, 1 at you.
Okay, 3 at Karn, 1 at me.
So I go to 18. You're at 8. Your turn.
All right, so upkeep. I could actually just use the Seagate records during my upkeep, but I don't think that's really necessary. We'll just draw a card. Wow, we really did it. I got a Ballista on 4.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's really good.
Pretty sure I'm dead.
Yeah, 18. All right, we'll shoot you, or we'll attack for with those. Do you want to block with your Memnite?
No.
Okay. So you take 8, go to 10, and
10,
I go to
13.
13.
Yep.
And I will pass the turn. So I want to make sure I have enough counters for like cranial platings or something.
All right, you win.
Yep.
All right, I'm on the play here for game 3, and we have a couple of sweet sideboard cards in our hand. Our clock is not exactly good, but we have enough ways to buy us time that I think we should be okay.
Okay, yeah. We're pretty slow too. We actually don't have a single threat in our hand, but got some mana.
All right, my 1 damage a turn clock.
Ooh, that's a good draw. So now with that draw, I want to lead with Expedition Map.
Okay. Tilt. I knew I should have played this other one first. Oh well. Attack. Go.
Ooh. All right, so 19 for me. You're still at 20.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Wow. That kind of changes things. All right, so...
Ruh-roh.
yeah, like, all right, so we could be getting Tron, but honestly, we have literal nothing to do with Tron. We have nothing. Here's our most expensive card in our hand here. And I think getting Ratchet Bomb down as early as possible is really crucial against Affinity to try to tick it up to be able to take care of cranial plating.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to get this down this turn, and we can just pop the map next turn and have 2 mana. So go ahead.
With him having access to Tron, I don't think it's worth using this card. So, okay, I'll just go and do this. Try to get our value out of it before he's able to pop the Ratchet Bomb.
Yep, so I'm at 18.
Yeah, your turn.
And I'll put a counter on Ratchet Bomb. Wow. That's bad.
So we 100% should have led with this land so that we could have played Blink Moth on 2. That was definitely a mistake.
All right, so crack map.
Yep.
I'll go get Power Plant.
This is really where the strength of Eldrazi Tron starts to shine, when you just draw the Tron pieces, in the map.
Right.
You can start playing 2 big spells a turn, pretty quickly.
All right, I'm going to, with my 2 mana, I'm going to exile the Steel Overseer.
All right, I'm going to counter that. I'll take a damage. I'm at 19.
Wow.
We just have to use our overseer to get a clock here. I think that's hugely important.
Yep. All right. So you're at 19. Yeah.
Huh. We drew a strange one. I think we just have to play a little conservatively here.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
And
Then going into combat.
Yep.
Before combat, since we have other removal spells in our hand, I'm going to go ahead and just crack this Ratchet Bomb and get rid of the Signal Pest.
Okay.
I'm going to try to keep my life total high.
All right. Hit you for 3. Put you to 15.
Yep.
All right. We'll play this post-combat.
Okay.
Go ahead. We weren't planning on playing it because we thought he would just be ticking up to 2, but now he has 2 pretty decent threats that he has to deal with.
That's also interesting. All right, so I'll have 1 mana floating, pay 4 life, and dismember the Ravager.
So you go to 11. I will just let that resolve and target Ornithopter.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and then so I have the 1 mana floating. So that's 7. I think I could do this, but I think we want to do all of these. So we have the 7. We're gonna play a boat.
Wow.
And shoot that.
What in the hell is that?
And then play collar and map.
Okay.
Sego.
All right.
Got a boat. It's my anti-Mantis Rider card.
All right. Hit you for 4.
4. Put me down to 7.
That's what I got. Your turn.
All right, so we have nothing to crew this boat, so something to crew would be nice.
That's good.
Hey, that crews a boat. That crews a boat real well. What do we have mana-wise? All right, so let's go. And then we're going to do this. Okay, yep, this all works. All right, so let's play Thought-Knots here.
All right, trigger of Thought-Knots here on the stack. I'm going to activate Blink Moth. And then take a damage. I'm going to dispatch this.
Okay, you're going to dispatch the Thought-Knots here?
I go to 18. Well, I have to because he's going to take it otherwise.
Yeah, so I will, in
Crew
response, crew that. All right, so let's get
I'll draw a card.
Yep.
And then you take my Vault Scourge.
Yep.
All right.
So taking that with a Thought-Knot. All right, now.
Equip boat.
So boat is.
If it was any other big monster, I could have just waited for him to equip this stupid boat. Now he gets to kill this with Death Touch and gain 3. And
Yep. So get to attack. Yeah. So get to equip collar on boat. Man, collar on boat is insane.
Yeah. I go to 12. You're at 13. Ornithopter dies.
Yep.
No, you gain
because
more.
I could shoot this, but I am gonna shoot. Yeah, because I gain 3. I gain 3 with the shooting.
No, you get. Yeah, you're at 16. You actually.
Yeah, so I'm at 16.
Yeah. So it's 12 to 16.
All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just map for. We don't really need. We don't really need more mana. It's just kind of greedy. I'm just gonna go ahead and map for Ghost Quarter and play Ghost Quarter. Yep, and I'll Ghost Quarter the Blink Moth.
And yes, Peter Terbergen has 2 basics in his deck.
Yep.
Your turn. Hope you don't draw a big creature.
That's probably because 2 terms ago when I played him, he land 1, and that probably made him sad because I Ghost Quartered him a bunch. I don't have a creature, but I do have a Karn.
Okay.
So I'll just Karn. And I think let's just minus on the, well, no, let's start by ticking up so then I can minus twice in a row because you shouldn't have a haste threat. So we'll tick up. Actually, I'm going to keep this in my hand to tick up on me. I'll just play that. Okay.
That seems, you're never going to reset the game, right?
I might.
Okay.
Okay, probably not. I now have something to crew the boat.
Yeah.
Crew boat, equip collar to boat.
Yeah. I'll take 6. I'm at 6. You're at 22.
Yep, and I'll
take this up.
Yeah, I'll just tick it up again. It's not really a reason
Yeah,
to do
you
it.
win.
Yep.
So definitely a show of strength from the Eldrazi-Tron side of things. I did not think that I was going to lose that match, especially after the pounding in game 1. But that just goes to show that after sideboard, basically every deck, even the colorless decks, have access to a ton of cheap ways to interact with Affinity. And that's one of the downsides to playing Affinity in general, is that, game 1's usually going to be, pretty easy or, one-sided, and then after sideboard, your opponent's just going to have a ton more ways to kill your creatures, and we're not even seeing the worst of it. We didn't play against the Stony Silence.
No, yeah, you're right.
We didn't play against Shatterstorm, Creeping Corrosion, Ancient Grudge. It was just stuff.
Yeah, no, I had plenty of removal, and so I definitely have a lot more removal in this deck these days because I have multiple gut shots, multiple warping whales. I have a couple spatial contortions in the main to go with dismembers. So definitely think just light creature removal is really important. And the decks that Eldrazi-Tron really is scared of is Affinity, Humans, and Hollow One. Like those are 3 decks that's why Eldrazi-Tron's been pushed out, especially Humans is like a real tough matchup. And Hollow One's just kind of doing the similar like big creature thing, but then just faster. Yeah.
I mean, you're putting the Thought-Knot Seer into play on turn 2 at the quickest.
But usually
turn
4.
3 or 4, and they're playing Hollow One on turn 1 and 2, and it just doesn't match up that well. But at the same time, if their draw doesn't really go off, they're playing a Gurmag Angler on turn 3 or 4, and you're kind of matching that pretty well with stuff like Endbringer,
right.
Reality Smasher, etc. So.
Yep. Definitely love Basilisk Collar these days in this metagame. Not a big fan of Chalice of the Void. Chalice of the Void just doesn't seem that good these days.
Well, with the popularity of Storm and the amount of pilots on the SCG tour that like to play Storm, Chalice of the Void is going to be one of your auto-win cards against them once you get Chalice on 2, shutting down all the rituals, all of their mana creatures, Manamorphose, etc. I think that Chalice is still worthwhile in game 1. You just have to know when to side it out. And in matchups against like Affinity, when you're on the play, a Chalice on 0 is sometimes decent because it can slow them down, turns off Mox Opal, Ornithopter, and stuff like that. But it's not going to be that great on the draw because they're going to explode. And at that point, Chalice on 2 is the only thing that's good against them. And, it's just a little too slow.
Yeah. That's a good point. So with my Eldrazi-Tron list I played here today, we did play a couple Karn Scion Averses in the main we didn't see. I only had the one Karn Liberated, but it was good. And then I had another Karn.
You did draw at both games, and it did just kill me both times.
Yeah. And then the one Karn Scion Aversa in the board. I think that's a good card against Jeskai and just other decks. And I think the constructs are pretty reliable for just being like, at least a 3/3 to crew Sky Sovereign. I think that could be pretty critical. I think Sky Sovereign these days is just an awesome card, and that could be just a real powerful card for these Eldrazi-Tron decks. So just more Caller, more Sky Sovereign. Those cards are awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely seeing the ramifications of playing 4 copies of Edge Champion in my main deck. This is one particular matchup where Edge Champion is very bad and Master of Ethereum is insanely good. And if I'd had those 4 big punch cards in my deck instead of, just always being reliant on drawing a Cranial Plating, that things kind of went south. This version that Peter Tubergen played was very heavily metagame towards beating things like Humans, Jeskai. We didn't see a bunch of... There's only like 2 Steel Overseers in the deck. There's a Hope of Ghirapur, which I've never seen in an Affinity deck other than maybe a one of in the sideboard, but it is very good against Storm. And with Storm being very popular right now on the SCG Tour, there is a very good argument for playing the card. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't really even think about that against Storm. I like that. That's
it lasts until your next turn. So you basically just Orms chant them or silence them for a turn. So it's kind of a cool little creature, and it's a 1-mana 1/1 flyer, and you have plenty of those already. So.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, well, that's going to be all for me and Mr. Stevens today. Make sure to tune in tomorrow. We will be diving into Brawl.
Yeah. We're brawling.
Dude, we got a lot of cool stuff coming up this week. We have Heads Up Commander 100 cards on Friday. Thursday, I believe we're going to be playing some Pauper for you Pauper aficionados out there. I know that the last time I played Pauper, I said I was going to play Blue-Red Delver every time for here to eternity. But I picked something different.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care. All right. Well, thanks for watching the Versus series from StarCityGames.com. For Todd Stevens, I'm Todd Anderson, and we'll see you tomorrow.